All right, coaches, I wanted to welcome you to our new YouTube channel. The name of this one is the Surface to Air System. You can find us all over YouTube. Please click the button and subscribe. We'd love to share all kinds of interesting content and discussions with you here on our YouTube channel. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Bucksweep. As we're getting ready for the playoff weekend, it'll kick off here in a couple hours. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers are going to do some cool stuff with pin and pull, and we'll come back later and we'll talk about what pin and pull means to us in the surface to air system. What we're going to talk about today is Bucksweep, and I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably saying, okay, coach, well, that's the same thing. Not to us in S2A, it's not. Okay, to us, Bucksweep is one thing and pin and pull sweep is another thing. Okay, now they both involve pinning, but you'll catch my drift on why here very, very quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to start these guys out, and we're just going to put them in a base over front. We're going to close off that gap in the C gap right there. Now, what we try to do in S2A is we're going to try to pound the daylights out of power and counter off tackle. We're also going to run the zone duo type play. We're going to really pound A gaps on you pretty religiously, okay? Now, the thing is, people are going to quickly realize they've got to do something special and try to take away gaps. So they're going to start reducing things down. When they start doing that reduction, that's when we feel like Bucksweep's a good play for us. So let's look at the rules. Tight end is down. Okay, now we tell him he's on to down in certain situations, but we want him to be down. Tackle is on to down. So against an over front, there we go. First guard is going to pull, and he's going to trap whatever presents. Okay, I think the most important thing to talk about in Bucksweep is it is power one gap wider. Now, we run A gap power, so it's actually power three gaps wider. But for those people that are big C gap off tackle power guys, Bucksweep is just power one gap wider. Okay, that's all it really is. We're going to block on to back with the center. The second guard is going to pull, and he's going to look to wrap. And then we're actually going to step and pick on the backside just like power. Okay, now, if our first guard traps, our second guard knows he plans to wrap. If the first guard finds nothing to kick out, nothing to trap, and he wraps, our second guard knows he's probably going to get an inverted situation. The safety's coming late, and he's going to have to trap that safety. Okay, so that's probably what it's going to amount to. We're going to base up on the corner, but you can always push and crack that guy if that's something you want to do. Now, what I love about Bucksweep is because you have longer to play the game, I like this, and I really like to push that five-step glance route. I like to push it up high and glance it, and then I like to run the speed cut out right there. And so you got a really long ride because our quarterback's going to step over in that A gap and have a little bit longer to make that decision. And so what happens is, essentially the defense is in a situation where they're going to have to keep two high in the game. If they rotate one high and they were to bring this safety, let's say, down into the box and move the free safety over, then we feel like we've got a great chance to throw that RPO all day. Okay. And so you're playing that yo-yo game with them, right? You're playing the game of, can they handle being too high? Do they have to get one high? All those things get dicey for them. Okay. Now, here's what I really wanted to take you through. That's how we block it versus an over front. But what I think is really interesting that we do in S2A is what happens when you start getting an under front. And as a football team, we run a ton of under front. I mean, a ton of it. We really, really like to do it to people. And one of the reasons that we like to do it to people is we feel like it sets up bad angles for the defense, okay? So I'm going to show you, this is kind of how we would do it. We would rock a safety down, we'd close the middle of the field, and we'd play more of that cover three world right there. Now, the same RPO we just looked at is probably going to be golden. But let's say for some reason that you can't get that done, okay? You can't get that ball thrown, whatever it is. We're going to make a call, then just a simple call. Our quarterback will walk up, he'll recognize the under front on Bucksweep, and bam, he'll make that decision and we flip it. Now the tight end is down, okay? The tackle is going to trap. The guard is going to come down, and the center is on what we call a mic pull. So he's going to pull, but if he gets over the B gap and the mic fires, he will pin the mic right there. If not, he'll continue on his track until he finds him. And then we'll actually unlock the backside of this and run a double team on the will so they can't fire the will through the backside open A gap. So it becomes a true read play, which obviously means you could do some different things. You know, you could get into some stick game on the backside. You could certainly do that. You know, you could get into some fade out game. Really doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. And we'll run this from 100 different formations. So there is your buck sweep versus an over front. And then with that tackle and center tag applied, and you can call it whatever you want. We just come up with a cool word the kids will remember. Now you've got a tackle and center pulling instead of the two guards. And it's a really good way to give yourself a unique twist on the play. So again, you know, we're really excited you guys are here. You know, you can find us at S2A System. Good place to find us right there. You can also find me at Coach Hargitt. Just my last name, at Coach Hargitt. Okay. Check us out on YouTube. We're all over social media on Twitter. We'd love to connect with you. DM us, reach out to us. Got a new book out on quarterback run game, obviously. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, but really, really hope that this buck sweep conversation gives you some wrinkles. I think you'll see a lot of this stuff from the 49ers today. So good luck, coaches. Enjoy the playoff week.